Hello, students. I just sent you your book planner link, so I wanted to make a video because those can be a bit confusing. So hopefully we can jump on that and fix any confusion before it even happens. So first things first, I will have sent you a delightful book. Oops. Okay, so the first thing will send you is this thing called Book Planners, and it will have that exact title. And what you will do is you will click on it. Bam. So what it will pull up is this delightful form, and this is a Google form. And what you will do is after you read a book, you will come into this Google form, and best practice is always to do it as soon as you get done reading the book. That's the best way, way you don't forget any or think you input it when you didn't. So you come here and you've got your different classifications, and off here to the side, handily, it tells you how many of that book you need. So I would come here and I would say, let's just grab one that I've got close by. So this is Can I Play Too? And then the author is Mo Willems. It took me less than a half an hour to read. And then I would put in the publisher, which I won't take the time to do now. And then you put in a summary, how delightful, potential problems. I would really ask you to consider this one. I've had students that say, oh, this one has no problems, but when I think about it, like an example was a student thought that there was no issues with the book I Am Malala, where she gets shot in the face for being a woman that wants to go to school. So just think about that, and really, maybe these particular books aren't offensive to you, but just think as a nation of melting pots, see if any cultures might have a problem with that book. So there's the potential problems, and then personal likes and dislikes. So great. We've got this. We put it in. Oh, I forgot to write. So this would be a free choice book. So it's technically a chapter book. So then I submit it. Delightful. So there are a few things you can access from this page that after you submit. You can either edit your response. Now I will say this is the only time you can edit your response. Once it goes into our spreadsheet, you cannot edit it. So I can say, oh, you know what? I realized it's not actually a free choice. It's a picture book. So I can change that now, hit submit. Great. The other thing you can do is you can hit this again, and it'll take you right back to that same page, and you can submit another response. The thing you can also do is you can hit see previous responses, and right here it'll actually give you this awesome pie chart on what you've turned in so far. So it'll give you the title, the author, how long it took you to read it. It just is an awesome way to see what you've done already. Okay, so there you go. That's all you have to do to fill out your book. And when I go to grade it, you don't even have to send me your spreadsheet. I already have the link. I just go in, grade it, perfect. So as long as your books are there, you're solid. I should also mention that this first 3 times we have where I grade your book planners. I don't necessarily care what the numbers are. Like, I don't care if you don't have to, for this first one, have a certain amount of picture books or a certain amount of traditional tales or anything. I just look at purely the numbers until the very end of the semester, and then I make sure that you've done all of your work, because done all the different genres that you had to. So first things, there you go. Fill out the forms. Solid. Okay. Then I will also be sending you a second link. Okay. So the second link will be one to view your book planner. Okay. So if I click on this, if you see here, it has exactly what I just inputted. So it gives the date and time. It says that it was a picture book. It was here's the title, the author, anyway, it has everything there. And the more you input into that, they will just line right up. And I will show you that too, because so if you go to the same exact link that I sent you initially, and you just put in some more stuff here, obviously you would put real words instead of gibberish like me, because I love to read through what you guys have been reading. So as soon as I put something else in, I can come back over to my thing. Bam, it's right there. Perfect. Look at that. So it's just a super handy way to fill out your book planners. So like I said, I will be looking here that there are 15 the first time, then 30 the next time, then so on. Okay, perfect. So that is our book planners. There were a few other things I just wanted to go over real quick so you guys can keep them in mind. The first one is the amount of required books. Now this is right in your content under lesson 1, and it's 1.9. And this tells you exactly what books you have to read for your 60 that are required for this class. So like we said before, you've got the 12. Those are the required ones from our class. It's all the ones that I emailed you in the beginning, the ones we will be reading as a class and discussing. So under this 12 books right here, these are all of your books that you have to read for the class. Now, if you skip past all this to L13, this is where it gets into what is required for the rest of the 60. So I'm going to go over a little more in detail with the traditional literature because it seems to confuse students. So what you will do is when you read a set of tales from a particular author, and you have to read them from these 3, then you would go put each set of tales into your book planner. So you wouldn't read Cinderella and just put into your book planner Cinderella if it's part of your traditional tales. It has to be paired with 2 others. Okay, so 3 traditional tales, because they're relatively small and they fit together as sets, those will go as a set in your book planner as 1 entry. Okay. And you can find traditional tales anywhere. You can find these authors anywhere. You can find them in the library. You can find them online everywhere. There are some links in the content where you can get these for free, and so get them and check those out. Okay, so when you get to the 3 traditional tales, like I said, 3 tales equals 1 entry in your book planner. Okay, so then you just have to skim 2 reference books. You don't have to read a child encyclopedia from A to Z. You can just kind of flip through it and get what they are all about. Then you need 10 nonfiction books. And you can find those at the library, anywhere. Then you've got 12 picture books. Picture books are, first of all, super easy to read. Go to the library and you can literally read 12 picture books in 30 minutes. I mean, that is super easy. And then 19 free choice. Now, 5 of those must be novel length. And the novel length is anything over 125 pages. So things that would fit into this is Jacob Have I Loved, Harry Potter. You've got any of the Newbery winners. So even Ella Enchanted, all of those things fit into the longer novel length. Okay. And then a really great way to read within this genre, especially if you're going to be an elementary school teacher, is to find early chapter books. So the one I was just talking about with Mo Willems, that is an early chapter book because I should probably, actually, no, it's not. Anyway, books like I should have brought some over. Like The Princess in Black, some of those that are still considered chapter books because they have chapters in them, Fly Guy, but they aren't very large like a novel length book. And you can read some young adult fiction if you want, but like it says here, we are focusing on probably younger children's fiction, or younger children's literature. And a part of that 19 for your choice, you can only read 5 extra picture books, just so you know. So that is what you have to read. And so if you have any questions about that, let me know. I really think that as you fill out your book planners, that should be self-explanatory. I also wanted to show you that we have some resources here on our content, and we will be reading traditional literature next week in week 4. But it has some of the traditional literature you can just read online. So if you hit this collections, collectors, and originators, it has lots of these stories online that you can just read them right online. You don't even have to find them anywhere. And then these websites also, like this is number 26, so it has all of the Brothers Grimm's traditional tales on them. So those are easy to find. The only thing you have to remember, like I said, is to record them as a set. Okay, so I think that's all I have about our book planners, and book planners are super awesome. And I actually don't necessarily keep a book planner myself, but I use the website Goodreads, and I record all of the novel length books that I read, not necessarily the picture books, because I read about 1 billion of those a year. But I record all of my books that I read, and so I feel like it's a really great way to keep track of that. And because as a reader, I like to know what I've read. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. I am available on the discussion board or in the email. So let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing what you've been reading.